And that's the point that the preacher in the book of Hebrews chapter 11 is making for us today. He began last week with Abel. Now I brought it up here with the kids. Abel offered up acceptable sacrifices to God. Abel is our example of right worship, how we worship God in faith. We learned that Enoch walked with God by faith and was acceptable to God. Enoch is our example of walking along with God in our day-to-day life. Noah worked alongside God, trusting that what God had said was true, and he spent over about 100 years working on the ark, building that because he trusted God's command. We learned to work with God through the example of Noah. Then we saw Abraham. Abraham's an interesting one, and we just heard it in our reading today, because Abraham believes in the resurrection. Maybe you caught that. Remember, Abraham's supposed to go up on the hill and sacrifice Isaac because God told him to. And a lot of people say, Pastor, how could anybody ever do that? I know I couldn't. I couldn't walk with my kid up on a mountain realizing I'm going to sacrifice him. Well, the book of Hebrews tells us why. Because Abraham trusted that the promise of God, that through this son Isaac, he would be the father of many nations, so it had to be true. So he didn't know how, he didn't know when, but he believed he would get his son back. That's faith that looks to the future, trust in the future hopes that God tells us about.